Chapter 4. A child born an orphan. Not long after his marriage to Amina, Abdullah ibn Abdul Muttalib set out on a trading journey, as many men of Quraysh regularly did. Trade was the lifeline of Makkah. Caravans traveled hundreds of miles across deserts, connecting Arabia with the markets of Syria and Yemen. On his return journey, Abdullah stopped in Yathrib, the city that would later become known as Medina. There, he became seriously ill. Despite every effort to care for him, Abdullah passed away before he could return home. His death brought deep sorrow to his family. More importantly, it meant that his unborn child would enter the world without ever knowing his father. Years later, this orphaned child would become the mercy sent to all mankind. But at that moment, he was simply an unborn baby whose mother now faced the future alone. Amina bint Wahb belonged to one of the respected families of Makkah. She was known for her dignity and noble character. Now she carried a heavy burden. She had lost her husband before the birth of their first child. The months that followed must have been filled with uncertainty. No one knew what destiny had written for the child she carried. History often changes quietly, without celebration, without armies, without kings. And that is exactly how one of history's greatest stories was about to begin. The birth of the final messenger. According to the majority of classical Muslim historians, Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was born in Makkah during the year of the elephant. The exact date of his birth, however, has been discussed by scholars for centuries. Many Muslims are familiar with the date of 12th Rabi al-Awwal, as it appears in several historical reports. However, other respected scholars have suggested different dates based on their study of early historical evidence. For this reason, historians generally agree on the year, while acknowledging that the exact day remains a matter of scholarly discussion. This difference does not change the significance of the event itself. What all Muslims agree upon is that the final prophet of Allah was born in Makkah into the tribe of Quraysh, from the noble clan of Banu Hashim. His birth marked the beginning of a new chapter in human history, the name Muhammad. Several days after the child's birth, his grandfather Abdul Muttalib took him to the Kaaba. According to well-known Islamic historical reports, he thanked Allah for the blessing of the newborn child. The baby was given the name Muhammad. The name was uncommon among the Arabs at that time. It means the one who is praised. Centuries later, billions of people across the world would pronounce that name every single day with love, respect, and gratitude. Reports surrounding the birth. Classical Seerah books preserve a number of reports describing unusual events associated with the prophet's birth. These include narrations about lights being seen, extraordinary signs, or events said to have occurred in distant lands. It is important to approach these reports carefully. Scholars of Hadith and Islamic history have differed regarding the authenticity of many of these narrations. Some considered certain reports weak, others accepted some while questioning others. For this reason, responsible historical narration distinguishes clearly between what is firmly established and what comes through reports of varying strength. What is beyond doubt is this: Allah chose Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, as the final prophet. His mission would begin decades later, but from the very moment of his birth, history had already begun to change. A child under Allah's care. The Quran later reminded the prophet of his early life with these powerful words: "Did he not find you an orphan and give you shelter?" Those words summarize one of the most remarkable aspects of his childhood. Before he could speak, he had already experienced loss. Before he could walk, he had already become an orphan. Yet, Allah's protection never left him. Throughout every stage of his life, that protection would continue. The child who entered the world without a father would one day become the teacher, guide, and mercy for humanity. But first, he would grow up among the deserts of Arabia. He would learn the language of the Bedouins. He would become known for truthfulness, honesty, and unmatched character. And those remarkable years are the story of our next episode. End of episode 1. Next episode teaser. In the next episode, we follow the early childhood of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, his years with Halima al-Sa'diyah, life in the desert, the blessings witnessed by his foster family, and the childhood experiences that shaped the man who would one day receive the final revelation.